so y'all better cook.
I got big dreams, you walk talk. When I walk, that's that big drip. When I slide down your block, now they pissed off. Like I really give a I got big sauce, so y'all better catch up.
What's the big old deal? What's the big old deal? We are back for another one, man. And it's getting crazy out here. It's getting crazy if y'all don't know. So we got Gilbert Arenas, man. Shit. It seemed like the black community just cannot catch a break. Like it just can't catch a break, my boy.
This year so far, we just got news about 30 minutes ago. Multiple updates about a minute apart that has shaken up the year. Shannon Sharpe has been officially fired by ESPN, and Gilbert Arenas just got arrested by the feds, and he's facing 15 years in prison. Now, let's tackle the Shannon Sharpe news because that's a little less shocking and more predictable, and then we'll get to this Gilbert Arenas madness. With the help of the ultimate ambulance chaser, Tony Busby, an OF model in her 20s, sued a 50-plus-year-old Shannon Sharpe for rape and related abuse, what she would say occurred in their 2-year relationship. Now, Shannon Sharpe initially came out and said he's innocent, he's going to fight this tooth and nail, this is an extortion ploy. He really took a stance that a lot of men appreciated. Because regardless if you have Shannon Sharpe money or not, it just leaves a bad taste in any man's mouth who watch a woman engage in consensual relations for 2 years and then wakes up one day and say, I'm going to sue this man for $50 million. It just doesn't make sense. And then messages got released where she's telling him to pay $25,000 for each.
I mean, I really hope something happens to that bitch, right? For the simple fact, you got women out here who actually go through stuff like that, and then here you got this old snow bunny playing, perpetrating, acting like she didn't give consent. And this is why y'all gotta leave them OF girls alone, because they getting piped down by so many different dudes. You know, psychologically, their brain is fried because she knows she dead wrong. Hey man, karma is a B. Now, being the fact that being the fact that and that Shannon Sharpe has his own podcast and is very successful, he's very well off, and I heard he got like other multiple channels and stuff like that are doing very well. So, I mean, at this point, he could make his own ESPN. He might as well go if he really ESPN is like the radio, but in the sports world. The radio station, but in the sports world, right? And at this point, being that there's social media so big, the internet is in streaming and all these different things and ways of going about it is in effect. Who gives a damn about ESPN? He might as well, if he really want to still, report on like sports and shit. I would say, shit, do what Cam and Mace is doing. And they pretty well off as well. So, yeah, man, I don't even feel like he's taking an L. Now, as far as he having to pay that 304 off, that's a little, that's probably like, and it probably messed up a lot of his endorsement deals or whatever the case is, because nobody wants to have that attached to their business or their brand. So I can kind of see why they, fired him or whatever. But that nigga gonna be straight. Now, for that bitch, get her up out of here. Pack her up. She's gone. I hope something really, really do happen to her. Since you want to play and cry wolf, cause you want some money, you trying to run a play. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that actually happened to you in real life. Since you want to play games. Cause and where's all the females in the comments like going at her? I don't understand. Clearly she running the play. But let's go get back into it though.
Cheek allegedly after the quote unquote rape and violations happened, it just screamed.
Imagine being able to build anything, for any reason, in any style,
at any.
Like an extortion ploy. And Shannon Sharpe took a stance that we thought he was going to stick to, but he didn't.
To my family, friends, supporters, and colleagues, I want to speak to you directly and from the heart. This is a shakedown. I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself because this isn't right. This is all being orchestrated by Tony Busby, who has targeted Jay-Z. Tony Busby targets black men, and I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of a sex tape that tries to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine. That video should actually be 10 minutes or so. Hey Tony, instead of releasing your edit, put the whole video out. I don't have it, or I would myself. You know what happened, and you're trying to manipulate the media. The encounter in question took place during the day at her invitation, and now that appears to be a deliberate setup, coordinated by Gabby, also known as Carly on OnlyFans. Gabby and Tony Busby want $50 million. What they're getting is sued for defamation and trying to take me down. My career is all about real talk and honesty. I know my family and fans know exactly what this is about. And I'm going to be out there telling you whatever I need to say, just like I always do. I love all you guys.
Shortly after this announcement, it was revealed that Shannon Sharpe was taking a hiatus away from ESPN and that he will be back at the start of the football season. So Shannon Sharpe said this was mutually agreed upon, that he wanted to take a step back from ESPN to focus on this, and he'll be back. And they all assured that he did not get fired, that he was still a part of the ESPN team, and we still love Shannon Sharpe. But behind the scenes, there are rumblings that, man, after like that chick released audio of apparently Shannon Sharpe saying he would choke her, apparently this was something that her and Shannon Sharpe did. It was some role play stuff. But once she released the audio out of context, ESPN said, bro, this is just too messy, man. And there was rumblings that Shannon Sharpe was done at ESPN for good. But they would still maintain the fact that Shannon Sharpe was going to be back at the start of football season. Well, preseason has started. Shannon Sharpe hasn't been back at ESPN. So while people were trying to figure that out, we got a bombshell that got released that made everybody look at Shannon Sharpe a little crazy. So we got word that Shannon Sharpe and the accuser reached a settlement, right? And this came after, like a week after we got reports that the court date that was scheduled for Shannon Sharpe and the accuser to have their first day in court, none of like the parties showed up. Like Shannon Sharpe and his attorneys never showed up, and Tony Busby and Gabby never showed up. So that was strange. So I guess a settlement was reached like a week before. So the first question is, come on, bruh. A settlement?
All right, so this is my theory on that. This is my theory. Hear me out. So what I'm thinking happened is because obviously it costs to go to court. It costs to pay lawyers, lawyer fees. You got to take time out of your day, your schedule, to go sit in court for hours at a time. And I feel like maybe he just was like, you know what? Instead of me going through this whole process and, you know, the headache of having to sit in court and fight this and pay these lawyers all this goddamn money, I'ma just look, you want this money? I'm gonna give you some money, man. We're gonna settle like that because it saves you the headache. That's what I'm thinking. He just was like, I'm not trying to go through this whole little process. That don't mean that you're guilty or nothing like that. You know, I just understand the headache of what it comes down to with these lawsuits. And when they're coming for you, you know, who wants to be spending all that damn money? And them lawyers is not cheap. To have a good lawyer, you're gonna spend a pretty penny, man. Look at Diddy. I think Diddy didn't spend a couple mil to beat his case. You know, and being the fact that Shannon Sharpe is who he is, you know, he's famous in the spotlight. You know, it's a lot of eyes on it. So, you know, it's just like instead of having to go through that public scrutiny and having to be all in the blogs and having to pay all these lawyer fees and go to all these court dates, because a lot of times these cases are dragged, like they get dragged out for months at a time. And it's like, instead of having to do all that shit, why not just pay the motherfucker and everybody happy? We gonna go our separate ways. That's what I'm thinking. But let's go.
Shannon Sharpe offered this chick $10 million apparently before they came forward. So if they rejected $10 million, can you imagine what they settled for? And that's before we got reports on exactly what the amount was. Tony Busby actually released a statement after the news of the settlement got released. And he said both sides acknowledge a long-term consensual and tumultuous relationship. After protracted and respectful negotiations, I'm pleased to announce that we have reached a mutually agreed upon resolutions. All matters have now been addressed satisfactorily, and the matter is closed. Yo, when you put language like that, man, you know you content, bro. You satisfied. You good with what the outcome is. And then after Tony Busby said this, to make matters worse for Shannon Sharpe in the eyes of the public, Gabby released a statement of her own. And this statement really pissed men off everywhere, bro. I'm talking about boiled the blood of men everywhere. A statement like this really makes me despise Shannon Sharpe. Gabby released a statement letting the world know she is officially retired after the settlement. So Gabrielle Zuniga wrote a statement. Now, she didn't.
Bro, that was a whole play. Now you want to retire? Because it was a whole play for first of all, why are you even recording our conversations? First of all, like, I'm not doing that type of shit. Like, bro, we got to talk. We got to talk in person. This was a whole play from the jump, bro. It was a whole play from the jump. That's why y'all better leave them OnlyFans girls alone, man. They're not. I mean, a lot of these women in today's time is just fried. Where's all the backlash? Where's all the women? You know what I'm saying? Giving her backlash for this. You know what I mean? Like, what we talking about? I don't see nobody. Like, that shit is crazy to me. Let's go.
Address the fact that, she pushed Shannon Sharpe through hell. She just says, today, I have decided to retire from OF. Thank you for the incredible support you've shown me over the past few years. This community has given me a life I could have never imagined. I'll still be active on social media and have several new projects in the works that I can't wait to share. I'm truly excited for this new chapter. I love you all forever and ever.
Man, I hope that bitch go broke. You don't manipulate people like that, bro. Like, that's crazy work. That's crazy work. I hope the bitch go broke, and I hope all her projects fail. You just don't do people like that. Like, you really ran a play, sat there and lied. And this is my thing. Where's all the where's all the women advocating and getting on her head about this, about playing with that community, about playing with that community of people who actually go through those type of experiences in real life? Ain't nobody saying nothing. I guess because it's a black man. So nobody don't got love for the black man, huh? It's like, that's what you get, huh? That's crazy work.
Reason why this pissed off a lot of men, man, because the very thought that degeneracy, like lies. Now, if Shannon Sharpe settled, maybe she wasn't lying. But the very thought that this woman lied, used degeneracy, used hoeing to a retirement at 23 years old, that pissed off a lot of men, bro. And it made me look at Shannon Sharpe a little crazy, bro. Because from his first message, I thought he was for the cause. I thought Shannon Sharpe was going to ride us out. But then reports came out that Shannon Sharpe settled for $23 million. He put $23 million in his woman's pockets. That right there just pissed me off to the point where, I can't even look at Shannon Sharpe the same. I haven't watched a Shannon Sharpe nightcap episode since. I haven't watched a Shannon Sharpe interview since. I can't even look at that man the same, bro. You retired a 23-year-old scallywag. She won't ever have to work again for the rest of her life.
That's crazy. Well, we ain't going to say that. We ain't going to say that, Flacco, because ain't no telling how long that money going to last. And just and 20 mil is not a lot in today's time. It's a lot of money for somebody who come from no money. But if you just think about the expenses, 20 mil is easy to spend in a day or in a month, depending on what you're spending on. If you don't know how to, it's not a lot of money in today's economy because everything is so damn expensive. Now, if you're a person that lives below your means, then yeah, you set for life. But that's just crazy though. And you know what's ironic about it? She's 23 and got a 23 million settlement. That's crazy work. That is crazy work, man. Couldn't be me. You ain't getting a dime. Bitch, we going all the way. I'm gonna be petty as hell. I'm being petty as hell. What? You're not getting a dime from me, bitch. I'm bankrupt. You're gonna have to prove that in court. We're not doing that. You ain't putting no stain on my name. Like what? I never really watched his shows like that anyway, but that's sad, bro. That's sad. But I would assume that he got money like that. That ain't gonna hurt his pockets. 20 mil. It ain't gonna hurt his pockets.
And you only got to clap cheeks for what, a year and a half? And half of that you was paying for the cheeks because we seen the messages. She's telling you 25K a cheek. Bro, I despise you, man. And ESPN was apparently as disgusted as the rest of us because ESPN announced this morning they're done with Shannon Sharpe. He's fired. They have parted ways. Now, this was not like an amicable statement. This was not like the previous statement. We have news decided to put. No, he's fired. We have let him go. Sports Illustrated confirmed the news that Shannon Sharpe was fired by Andrew Marchand. Now, there was no talks of a settlement of a buyout because when he left Fox or when he got fired from Fox, there was a buyout. Fox paid out the rest of his salary. But with ESPN, they had every right to fire Shannon Sharpe. I believe there's some type of moral clause there. So Shannon Sharpe was hoping, that he could probably have them buy out some of his contract. If let's say Shannon Sharpe contract was 5 years, $25 million, and this is like the first year and he was still owed, let's say $20 million. Well, they would have had to buy out Shannon Sharpe for the $20 million if they just wanted him to go away. But when you fire Shannon Sharpe for violating like your rules, you don't have to pay him out nothing. And that's what it looks like. Now, Shannon Sharpe was in the works of a $100 million podcast deal before this lawsuit. I don't know if that podcast deal is still on the table, bro. I'm sorry. I don't know, bro. All right, because now whoever was about to sign Shannon Sharpe, they got all the leverage. All right, now they can throw Shannon Sharpe probably 50 of this. 50 million is still.
Hey, man, that's why they say, never envy what somebody else have or never covet what somebody else has because you don't know what the hell they did to get to where they at. You just don't know. Clearly, you can see this woman right here is 23 years old. To other little girls, like, oh, you came up, you know what I'm saying? You balling, you living that luxury lifestyle. You're probably posting all type of little fly pics and stuff like that. Meanwhile, she getting her cheeks clapped. She getting her cheeks clapped for $25K a clap. And then she lied about getting R word just to get a $23 million settlement. If that ain't dishonorable, I don't know what is, man. That's ratchet activity, man. And they say black women is the ratchet. Nah, man. Look at these. Look. It come in all shapes, sizes, and forms, and colors. Snow Bunny's just a little more sophisticated with they 304ing, they hoeing, but they on the same type of time. Especially the OF girls. Let's go.
Still a blessing, especially after paying Gabby Zanuga $23 million.
We have breaking news. Having just learned, former NBA star Gilbert.
Her last name sound racist. Like you should have known. You should have known not to play around with her. Gaza News. Like that sound like some racist ass name.
Arenas has been arrested. He and 5 others are accused of operating an illegal gambling business. The Department of Justice says they had high-stakes poker games at Arenas' Encino mansion. Arenas is charged with 1 count of conspiracy to operate an illegal gambling business, 1 count of operating an illegal gambling business, and 1 count of making false statements to federal investigators. He's expected to appear in court this afternoon in downtown L.A. We will continue to follow this story throughout the day here on Eyewitness News.
The headline for this Gilbert Arenas arrest made this situation sound even crazier than what it already is. Like, it's already crazy Gilbert Arenas is being arrested by the feds. But to say that Gilbert Arenas is being arrested by the feds and his co-defendant is somebody tied to an organized crime organization in Israel, it's crazy. Like, bro, what type of stuff are you getting into, sir? So the official headline is a former NBA star Gilbert Arenas is suspected Israeli crime.
He must have pissed somebody off, y'all. Because I noticed that's a pattern. Like, look at what happened to Diddy. Soon as he got at them people, and y'all know them boys, soon as he got at them people, look what happened to him. He got exposed. You know, feds came for him, and he just got humiliated. It's like damn near like a humiliation ritual. It's like a warning. It's like a warning ass whooping. And now we see Gilbert Arenas, so he might have pissed somebody off too or something. I don't know, man. It's getting crazy out here, man. You got to start dealing with them
people.
We're
arrested today on federal indictment alleging they operate an illegal gambling business in which high-stakes poker games were played at an Encino Mansion Arenas owned. My biggest question whenever I get news like one of these multi-super rich millionaires dudes are involved in organized crime, it's like, why? Like, was there a financial incentive here?
Exactly.
You're Gilbert Arenas. Like, bro, your podcast make $1 million a month. You probably got about
like, and that's my thing. That makes no sense. Like, you make millions, you know what I'm saying? You become successful just to go backwards and do some illegal or do some street shit. And it's like, for what? And another thing I noticed, how come anytime it's a black man or high status that get caught up and they have co-defendants and stuff like that, we never hear about the co-defendant, especially if they of another ethnicity. As you can clearly see, it says that he was dealing with a Israeli, right? But why we don't know their name? Why they're not the face of this? Why they ain't talking about them getting arrested or whatever the case is? Like, I don't. That's. I'm telling you, man. It's
like
crazy.
20 or 30 M's left over from the NBA alone. Your son about to be, well, he's been injured, but your son might just be a lottery pick in the NBA. So you good in that regards. Your other son looking like he's going to be a lottery pick in the NBA as well if he grows a couple more inches. Bro, you set for life. You don't need the extra money from crime. You just don't. So when I read exactly what took place and I read the indictment, Gilbert Arenas himself never participated in the high-stake poker games or the illegal gambling. Gilbert Arenas was sitting at the top of the food chain because he owned the mansion and he rented out the mansion and he got a portion of the proceeds. So if this is an international crime boss who's running this, and this is high-stakes poker, we're talking about millions of dollars on a daily basis is coming in and out of that mansion. And Gilbert Arenas got a cut of it. First thing I noticed, none of this dude's like co-defendants got like English names, homie. All his co-defendants, man, Yagivani Grossman, Ivajani Tovakasisk, Alan Australia, Jahan Cohen. Oh, no. We know what this is, homie. Ivakan Krashak. So all his co-defendants are from Israel, Israelis, okay? So the indictment says former NBA star Gilbert Arenas and 5 other defendants, including a suspected high-level member of an Israeli transnational organized crime group, were arrested today on a federal indictment alleging they operated an illegal gambling business in which high-stake poker games were played at an Encino Mansion Gilbert Arenas owned. Now, it says that Gilbert Arenas, Agent Zero of Woodland Hills, is charged with 1 count of conspiracy to operate an illegal gambling business, 1 count of operating an illegal gambling business, and 1 count of making false statements to federal prosecutors. Now, each one of these charges got a maximum of 5 years. So he's facing 15 years maximum, okay? He is scheduled to make, so right now he's still in custody, by the way. So he's scheduled to make his initial appearance and be arraigned this afternoon. Now, when you like scroll down and you read this, like Gilbert Arenas never really gambled, but he was getting proceeds from the illegal operation that was going on in his mansion. And these people were operating this like a legal casino. You would think if this was like illegal and not allowed and something that faced this much of like severe punishment, you would think that these people wouldn't be operating this as like flamboyantly as they were. So, according to the indictment, on July 15th and until today, from September 2021 to July 2022, Gresham, Arenas, and other defendants operated an illegal gambling business. Arenas, this is his role in it. He rented out an Encino mansion he owned for the purpose of hosting high-stake illegal poker games at Arenas' direction. Now, they're claiming that Arenas was the one at the top. Now, I don't think that Gilbert Arenas is bossing around a transnational crime boss, but they claim that Gilbert Arenas directed Arthur and West Hollywood, staged the mansion to host the games, found co-conspirators to host the games, and collected rent from the co-conspirators on Gilbert Arenas' behalf. So, now, I'll be real. This is worse than I thought. I was thinking that these dudes approached Gilbert Arenas and said, hey, bro, we want to host high-stake poker games here. Can we rent out the mansion and we'll give you a fee? They're saying, nah, Gilbert Arenas came up with this idea on his own. Hold on, man. But we can have multi-million-dollar deals going on in this mansion that I don't use, and they can just pay me.
I don't believe that. My theory is he's more famous than everybody that's named in this indictment. So of course they're gonna put it on him. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna put it on him. That's just the facts. Like, in my opinion, like, I say in my opinion, that's the facts. That's the fact of the matter. Like, they're gonna do that because it's, don't nobody know who them other dudes are, so nobody's not gonna care. So of course they're gonna make it seem like he's the mastermind, and he black. Come on, like, let's be real. The black man is the world's punching bag. It seems. Let's go.
Oh, no. So Gilbert Arenas is who sought out the crime bosses. This is crazy. Okay. So it goes on. Gresham, Tavakashaki, Austria, and Cohen managed illegal pot limit Omaha poker games, among other illegal games, at the Encino mansion and collected a rake. It's a fee the house charged from each pot, either a percentage or a fixed amount per hand, and invited players to compete. They also hired young women who, in exchange for tips, served drinks, provided massages, offered companionship to the poker players. Hold on, bro. Hold on.
Oh, so they might try to get him with some. They might try to throw up in there some like prostitution or something, huh? What y'all think?
They got trafficking included in this?
Yeah.
The women were charged a tax, a percentage of their earnings from working the
Maybe
games.
one of them female snitch.
So understand what's happening here, bro. A tax from working the games. They were offering companionship. Man, bro, they was selling coochie in there, bro. Hold on, bro. Illegal. Oh, Gilbert, you messed up, bro. Gilbert, bro. This is, bro, you had like a Diddy party mixed with an Italian mob style. Nah, this is crazy, bro. So chefs, valets, and armed security guards also were hired to staff these illegal poker games. Kershaw worked as a chip runner in which to track player wins and losses, distributed poker chips to players, and pay employees. Can you imagine being a police, right? And you just driving by one day, not really understanding what's going on. You just driving by doing your routine shift run. And you see armed security outside. You see Bugattis and Rolls Royces being valeted. You see girls walking in like poker uniforms. You're asking yourself, wait, what's going on here? Now, it's unclear exactly how they got caught. I guess we'll find out once the indictment gets uploaded. But this is bad, man. This is bad.
Man, see, messing with them people, man. And I'm pretty sure they're gonna all try to put it on him and make him seem like the mastermind of this thing, which I'm pretty sure he's not, bro. I know them is. Did you see how old they was for one? Them dudes probably got chili, and they stand in Tarzana, Woodland Hills. Like, bro, it costs chili to live up there. Them houses is like $1 million houses. Man, it's crazy. It's crazy year, man. But with that being said, make sure y'all go ahead and like, comment, subscribe to the channel, man. Let me know what y'all think about this whole little thing. We're gonna stay tuned and see where this takes us, man.
Every day it's like I feel more pressure, give more effort. Bill steady rolling in the due day crept up. Feel like I'm next up, life gon' test ya. My range close, aim, know the boy a heavy stepper. Things change, rearrange, ain't no crime body. Heart is weaving through the smoke, got my vision cloudy. Heavy stress on my brain, ain't no way around it. Navy SEAL when I flow, no you can't drown me.